Alright, we're with MTG Grinders and we're commentating some Modern at Friday Night Magic, Good versus Evil. I'm Lewis and this is Trent.
I am Trent.
And this is the third round. It's Connor versus me, actually. Connor on the left and I'm on the right. Now Connor is playing, Connor's one of our young players, up and coming.
He's our youngest and most up and coming player, yes.
He's running a borrowed Merfolk list.
Yeah, with a Cabinet of Souls already.
He's named a Merfolk.
I would assume, and he plays an
He runs out in Aetherval, so he's got a pretty strong start.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
And I'm playing a Brew.
You're playing a Brew?
I'm playing a Brew.
Tell us about your Brew.
Now, I was going to bring Zoo.
Simmons
and
Brew,
that's what I was going to be bringing.
Okay.
But then you mentioned the card Golgari Grave Troll in an unrelated conversation, and that got me thinking, I have 4 Golgari Grave Trolls.
I'm good at this. Okay,
and
continue.
I should play them. So I'm basically playing a deck with Golgari Grave Trolls with graveyard synergies. I've got
a deck that revolves around graveyard synergies and not directly Golgari Grave Troll.
Yes, well, I was actually going to run. It was going to be more aggressive with Bloodghasts, but I actually wound up cutting Bloodghast from the list.
We see Scavenging Ooze come down.
So I'm leading with the Scavenging Ooze. Now, I did not have time to test this deck.
Yeah, okay.
Before
Scavenging Ooze is generally a sideboard card.
I find Scavenging Ooze is a decent.
It's not bad as a
decent main deck card. This is a 2 of, yeah.
Maybe I reiterate and say a go up in copies.
Yeah,
you see a Curse Catcher coming down for.
Yeah, he's bringing down Curse Catcher now. He's about to. I believe he accidentally reveals a Merfolk to me, but then I explained he doesn't have to do it when he. Oh no, that's a bit late. He's going to play another Merfolk later, but he's run out this Curse Catcher, and I'm just beating down with my Scavenging Ooze now. One of the faults that I found with this deck is that I didn't have a lot of sort of much tying it all together. Okay. In that I'm running 4 Faithless Looting, but not much else to fill up the graveyard aside from Dredge, which only works from the graveyard.
Sure.
If I was to continue working on the deck, I would probably add some copies of something like Grizzly Salvage. Okay. Because I had a lot of
Grizzly Salvage is
I had a lot of consistency issues that night.
Sure.
And this is. It's actually fortunate that the deck worked best when it was on camera.
Yeah,
because I had a lot of match losses just to my deck not firing.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we see you coming for 2 there, and Curse Catcher with a rather odd block. Like we did say that young Connor is
now
still getting like this is a very advanced deck.
Yeah, a very advanced deck, and now I'm about to. I just noticed that Connor made a mistake, but it was right after I was about to write down the life loss, and Connor was trying to use an Aetherval to bounce my Vapor Snake.
Sure. I could see how that would happen.
Yeah, it's. Like as we said, Connor's still learning.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, this is why we do this kind of stuff, so people at home get the idea that this is how you learn, and obviously things that can and can't happen. And I mean, like I said, Connor's still very young, but he's 12, 13 years old. He's year 7. He's a great little kid. Very enjoyable kind of.
Great kid. And he's built up like a lot of confidence because he's been coming for long enough that he's just really he loves to trash talk you especially.
Yeah, he loves to get into me. All he wants to do is take me down, and he will eventually. He'll get there eventually. We'll see you resolve a Faithless Looting and go for a Stinkweed Imp and a Birds of
discarding
Paradise.
2 Dredge cards. So
2, just 1.
A Dredge card and a creature. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologise.
As we see you come over for 2 with the Scavenging Ooze and put young Connor down to 18. No, he's up and coming. He's very hungry about what he wants to do with Magic.
Now I'm firing off a Lingering Souls. When I knew I was playing a graveyard-based deck, 4 Lingering Souls entered my mind. Yep. And then entered the deck.
Doesn't if you play anything with white in it, you play Lingering Souls and you play black for the splash for buyback?
Basically,
isn't that how it works in Modern?
Basically, if you play blue, you either have to play Deceive Rogueshard, which means you have to play Splinter Twin, or you play Snapcast Mange, which means you have to play Remand, or you play Lingering Souls, which means you have to play something with black, probably Tassigha.
There's all these correlations. You play Tamagotchi, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to play anything else. No. That's how it works, right? You play Tamagotchi, you don't have to play anything else. You play Mountain, you play Lightning Bolt. You play Lightning Bolt, you play Goblin Guide. There's all these correlations in Modern.
Now, this is the player I got ahead of myself earlier.
Explain what's happening.
Okay, he's tap 2 to play he's tapped his Aether Vial to put, I think it's I can't remember the name of the Silvergill Adept onto the battlefield. Now, Silvergill Adept has a trigger when you cast it.
Sure.
That you reveal a merfolk or pay an extra 3. Now,
okay.
Connor wasn't actually casting, he was just putting it onto the battlefield.
Yes.
So he gets around having to either pay 3 or reveal the merfolk, and gets to go straight to drawing the card.
Did notice that poor old Connor missed his Aether Vial trigger on turn 2 there, which is something you never want to do.
That's setting him back a bit.
Yeah, you never want to do that with Aether Vial decks. I played Death and Taxes for a while. It's my favourite deck in Modern, my favourite deck in Legacy. Obviously I don't have the deck in Legacy, but it's by far my favourite deck, and one of the most crucial parts about that is being able to draw Aether Vial, which Connor's very good at, but then making sure that we never miss our counters and we stop them on the right number, which obviously, coming back to the earlier statement, Connor's still learning. So
now here I chose to dredge my Syncreate Imp.
That seems like something that you would do.
And I've milled a Thragtusk and a Golgari Grave Troll.
I do see that as well. Thragtusk's an interesting one.
Well, I was looking for just something in the middle, because I'm playing on Burial Rites. I was looking for sort of a mid-range creature that it's not inconceivable that I could cast it.
Okay.
So that can provide me some value. And
a little out of
Thragtusk gains me some life back, and he trades well with review.
So no Illusionon, Shallow or like Iona or Grave
Titan? I was playing Grave Titan.
You were playing one Grave Titan.
And one Illusionon.
And we have a number of
Yep, I've exiled 2 Simian Spirit Guides here.
Yep.
And I'm bringing back Thragtusk.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's just found that he was a very solid value creature.
Thragtusk has been seen across decks. He was a staple in Standard. He was a $20 card in Standard.
Yep.
Broken as all hell. The card that broke the back of Delver. Or Delver's Reign, I should say. When this card was printed, Delver actually dropped. And then he was played in a lot of cord lists, played as a one-of in that in the sideboards for pod lists and things like that before it got banned. Thragtusk is just a generally amazing card. Like, it legitimately is. It had a combination which is banned with Worldfire and Thragtusk. Was it Thragfire or something? It was banned.
It
was banned in Commander for that specific reason, because it says when it leaves the battlefield.
Now, we see Connor vial out a couple of lords.
Yeah, this is where he wins the game, right? He makes huge dudes from guys that help each other. They all hold hands and then they just swing at you with a huge...
Something that I've noticed, he's...
huge wave, I suppose.
Aether Vial is the only ways I've been able to really get cast spells. He's got the 2 Cavern of Souls, so he can cast Merfolk.
He can cast Merfolk.
But he's got no islands.
Yeah, okay.
He does have access to Mutavault, so that is another Merfolk. I'm choosing to dredge my Golgari Grave Troll here.
Yeah, I feel like always, whenever one's in the graveyard, it feels like it's a pretty comfortable thing to be dredging that card. Is that an Explorer? I see?
Yep. I was running a one-of Explore. Just to... I found that it helps to cycle it early as like a sort of a 5th Birds of Paradise in a way.
Sure. So did you think of Grizzly Salvage, or did you not think of that card?
I thought about it. I just didn't really put it in.
Okay.
I was considering it.
But if I
would in hindsight revisit the list, because I did play maybe a month or 2 earlier. I played Cremana Flayer in Modern,
I do remember
and that was 4 Faithless Looting, 3 Grizzly Salvage.
I do remember this,
and I had absolutely no problems with that makeup. So
sure,
that was just me not learning from a previous graveyard.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I see here just showing Connor that I'm going to have a broken effect, that when my card dies it leaves behind something with exactly the same toughness and I can attack it to the next turn.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, good guy.
And I'm just searching out a beast token now.
Yeah, it seems like you've got control of this game, and Connor's inexperience really showing here, as I feel like the cards in his hand,
He's got a few. He's got Master of Waves.
I was going to say, he's got Master of Babes there.
Yeah. And I'm flashbacking.
He's got a Merfolk Sovereign. Me creating my deck doesn't change the fact that I can't see the cards. Yeah, he had some really nice plays there where if he was a turn ahead, say, he hadn't missed his Aether Vial, he could have had those 2 cards out.
Yep.
He could have played a Master of Waves this turn and played Merfolk Sovereign from his hand last turn, so he would have quite the board.
Now we see him ticking up his Aether Vials.
That's good.
And in my hand turn, I flashbacked Faithless Looting, and I discarded 2 Dredge cards.
Oh, okay.
And the good thing about Dredge is that it can replace any draw, so you can cast Faithless Looting, Dredge for one or both of those draws, and then just discard both of those same Dredge cards.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. The Dredge mechanic is vastly broken in the ability to say, just from the text, this is whenever you would draw a card.
Mark Rosewater has a scale called the Storm Scale.
Yes.
Where people will ask, what are the chances of this returning?
Yep.
And he gives a number.
Yep.
And if it gets a 10, that means it's never going to come back to standard.
Dredge goes
and
10.
Storm has a 10.
Yep.
Because that's what the scale's named after. Dredge and Banding are the 2 other 10s.
Banding, yeah, that's correct, yeah. Well, Dredge is completely broken. Like it's busted. It's busted as heck.
It's possible to play a competitive deck without any lands, thanks to Dredge.
Yes, Legacy Dredge decks do not play any land. You can build them for $50, and you can win on the turn you play it. Like,
or if they do play lands, it's like one.
One land, yes, one land. So you just got a hefty bunch of Grave Titan, Sun Titan.
Yeah.
Is that a
Tarmogoyf?
Yeah, Goyf and is that an Eternal Witness?
Yep.
Oh, one of my personal favourites.
Eternal Witness was great, just as a way to get back non-creature cards.
Yeah, sure.
I can play it, or Unburial Rights it just to get back just some sort of non-creature tech if I need that.
No, don't block with the Master Waves go. Oh, you're explaining to him.
I'm pointing out that
if this guy dies, they all die.
Yeah,
with
they all
him.
die. Yeah,
good man. Those guys are 3/2s. So.
And he's getting up to kill my Scavenger, which is fine. I think that's a decent thing to do here. He's been pretty much under pressure. Like I've had a good board state.
Under pressure and inexperience is the thing that's mainly caused this game to swing in your favour. I feel if you piled this deck 10, 12 more times, I think you might have lost this game. Quite well, maybe not lost it, but it would be a lot closer. He might have 10 dudes, and they might be. Yeah, he might hit you for 60 damage. Quite frankly.
Yep.
He didn't. He might not have had to trade his Curse Catcher on turn 1. He could have played a number of spells on turn 2. He has had a Mutavault that could have been activated as well, so you get back the Grave Bro and make more bros.
He's not obviously he's not experienced playing with Mutavault.
No, which is a hugely deep card. It's a ridiculously deep card.
In this deck especially, getting bonus from Master of Waves and all the Lords.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I see myself and you, we've had the privilege of playing with both Master of Waves when it was in a tier 1 deck and Mutavault for years on end, so we know the ins and outs of these kinds of decks. I mean, we watch it every week and things like that, but from Cole when he's a young boy, he doesn't have access to that kind of thing.
Yep.
But I must say he's come a long way.
Oh, yes. Since he started,
what about a quarter of a year? About 4 months?
He made 8th in the Dragons of
Tarkir pre-release. Played really well.
Alright, now I just want to point out that I'm milling a Sylvan Primordial. just
my all-time favourite card, Sylvan Primordial.
Yeah,
a premier 7-drop in standard, if I must say. The 6/8 couldn't be dealt with by any creature in the format.
Yep.
He just punched under my Hellcats out of the air. Blocked the hell out of Stormbreath Dragons. Killed Planeswalkers. Got forests.
Yeah. Now,
good guy. No doubt.
For this trial of the deck, I chose 4 singleton top end threats,
and he was
one Grave Titan, 1 Sylvan Primordial, 1 Sun Titan, 1 Elishnorn. Obviously, if I don't know if I'm going to keep working on the deck, but if I do, I might diversify them, change them up a bit,
sure.
see what the best ones
was. Sylvan Primordial the bro that I know he is?
Sylvan Primordial was excellent every time he came out.
That's because he is excellent. To anybody with a hot tip that wants to play a hot card, somebody playing Deathcloud Primeval Titans might consider Sylvan Primordial. Probably not, but it's a green guy, you know. He's a good guy. Big advocate for that guy. Banding commander for a reason. He's busted as hell. Get behind him.
Cohen's deciding his blockers, and I think I'm reminding him that Mutavault can turn into a creature here, because I have noticed that he hasn't been using them, and I'm pointing out they're 3/3s thanks to the Master of Waves.
They are 3/3s,
so they can just eat zombies.
That they can. They can't eat Boo.
They can't eat spirit tokens.
They can't get Boo, and unfortunately that Master of Waves, which I think you're pointing out, says you can't block with Master of Waves, or all your guards are going to die.
if you block with Master of Waves, they die as well. And I think he's still going to do it because his life is under pressure. Like he is inexperienced, but he does understand.
A lot. The repercussions of the fact that I'm dying and I need to soak some damage. I'm sure Connor has got the idea now that he's significantly behind and his deck isn't situated to work from this kind of standpoint. But you know, he's like I said, eighth at the pre-release, and a good kid, and he's going to go. Like if he sticks with it.
I can see him just becoming a very solid player in the coming months.
He's hungry.
Years,
He's a little smart ass. But he's hungry. He's hungry. And this is exactly the kind of thing that Magic needs, is we see you play my bro and hopefully kill an eighth of Violet.
Well, after the night was over, we were playing a multiplayer game. And Dave was playing, but he needed to get up and do some things. Dave Lane, yeah. Sure. And so he got Connor to sub in for him, and Connor was just having so much fun.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. And that's the main thing. Like that's the thing that Magic in a lot of places miss out on. I think is the people that come in to the community don't generally get welcomed, because the community is all very closed, tight knit group, and anybody that comes in kind of gets shunted away. There's one beautiful thing about where we came from is that as he draws them, I'm sorry, just like cut. He draws
another one. Fantastic. If only he had a way. If he had a way of casting that, he could have mounted it.
Phantasmal and Silver and Primordial. Who's done that before? Hey.
Connor's packing things up, and we're going to go to game 2.